Welcome to our countdown of the top 5 most dangerous planes in history. Buckle up, because this is going to be a turbulent ride. We're talking about planes that made everyone at the gate go, hell no, rebook it to literally anywhere else on Earth, please. Look, flying is statistically safer than, say, guzzling down a whole gallon of mayonnaise while driving blindfolded on the freeway. It's true, look it up. But the thing about plane crashes is when they happen, they're about as subtle as a Michael Bay film with a marketing budget the size of a small nation's GDP. So join us as we delve into the wild world of aviation engineering, questionable decisions, and the outright hubris that led to some of the most infamous flying machines in history. The Comet. It was sleek, it was innovative, and it fell out of the sky with a depressing regularity that even Ryanair would find embarrassing. The Comet was basically the aviation equivalent of that friend who shows up to a party in a shiny new outfit, only to have it spontaneously combust from sheer excitement. You see, in the 1950s, the idea of commercial jet travel was about as mind-blowing as, well, having a personal teleportation device today. And the Comet was supposed to be the Concorde's older, less successful sibling, but there was just one tiny problem. It had a nasty habit of developing cracks in the fuselage, which, as you can imagine, is not ideal when you're hurtling through the air at hundreds of miles per hour. Several high-profile crashes later, the Comet's reputation was about as wrecked as its fuselage after encountering a stiff breeze. It did eventually get a bit better with some redesigns and whatnot, but the damage was done. The Comet, a cautionary tale of ambition, innovation, and the importance of, not having your plane disintegrate mid-flight. The Concorde, the supersonic darling of the skies. It could get you from New York to London in the time it takes to watch a really long cat video. Celebrities loved it, the wealthy loved it, and engineers, well, they probably had a love-hate relationship with it because that thing was basically held together with duct tape and prayers. Okay, that last part might be a slight exaggeration, but the Concorde was not without its problems. For starters, it was ridiculously loud, like wake the dead and annoy them kind of loud, and it guzzled fuel like a frat boy at a beer pong tournament. But the real nail in the Concorde's metaphorical coffin was a fiery crash in Paris in 2000. That's right. The Concorde, a plane designed to be the pinnacle of speed and luxury, ended up bursting into flames like a cheap barbecue grill. The public was understandably freaked out, and just like that, the Concorde's days were numbered. Chapter 3. The Boeing 737 MAX. Now, I'm no aviation expert, but it seems that when your plane is grounded worldwide faster than you can say software malfunction, you've probably made a bit of a boo-boo. And by boo-boo, I mean a series of mind-bogglingly bad decisions that led to the deaths of hundreds of people. The 737 MAX was supposed to be Boeing's cash cow, a fuel-efficient workhorse that would ferry passengers around the globe with the same unremarkable efficiency as a slightly drowsy Roomba. But then 2 of them crashed within 5 months of each other, and suddenly Boeing found itself in the middle of a PR nightmare that would make even BP blush. The problem? A faulty software system that basically decided to play a very high-stakes game of airplane limbo with people's lives. It's a long and complicated story, but the short version is that Boeing messed up, big time. The 737 MAX is now back in service, but it's going to take a lot more than a new software update to restore public trust in this flying hot mess. Chapter 4. The Tupolev Tu-144, a shining example of Soviet engineering at its... well, let's just say it wasn't exactly known for its stellar safety record. This was the USSR's answer to the Concorde, a supersonic jet designed to show the West that the commies could do luxury and speed just as well as, if not slightly less safely, than the capitalists. The Tu-144 was plagued with problems from the get-go. It was loud, it was thirsty, and it had a tendency to, how shall we say, fall out of the sky with alarming regularity. In fact, the Tu-144's first public appearance at the Paris Air Show in 1973 ended in disaster when the prototype crashed in a spectacular display of fire and broken dreams. Despite this rather inauspicious debut, the Tu-144 did actually enter passenger service for a brief period, though it was mostly used for cargo flights because, well, no one wanted to die on a plane called the Concordski. After a few more mishaps and a general lack of interest, the Tu-144 was quietly retired to the dustbin of aviation history where it belongs. Chapter 5. The McDonnell Douglas DC-10. A plane so infamous it single-handedly gave cargo doors a bad name. This wide-body jet was supposed to be a game-changer, a spacious and efficient way to transport people and things across vast distances. But then a series of design flaws, particularly with its cargo doors, led to some truly horrific accidents. We're talking doors flying off mid-flight, rapid decompression, and passengers clinging desperately to their armrests as the plane plunged towards the earth. One particularly tragic incident in 1979 involved American Airlines Flight 191, where a DC-10 crashed shortly after takeoff, killing all 271 people on board. The cause? A cargo door that had been improperly closed, leading to a catastrophic chain of events. The DC-10's reputation never fully recovered, and while it continued to fly for many years, it became a symbol of the importance of getting the basics right when it comes to airplane design. You know, like making sure your doors don't spontaneously decide to go for a little stroll at 30,000 feet. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And remember, the next time you find yourself nervously clutching the armrests as your plane taxis down the runway, just be thankful you're not strapped into one of these flying death traps, or, just take the train. Until next time, this has been Your Name Here, reminding you that sometimes it's best to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground.